Where's the restroom?
Just go around here.
Thank you.
That's fake. That's fake. Heard it? I'm the guardian angel. That's good. That's a great story. Let me go. A water or coffee.
Two-minute warning. We will get started. If you want to get some more coffee or water in just 2 minutes. If anyone has lost a pink earring, Mary has it. It's a little round pink earring, drop kind of thing. So check your ears. If you're missing it, she has it. This is a women's conference after all. We've got to take care of our earrings.
Hello.
Do I need to see you first?
No, you're good.
Well, I want to welcome everyone. Sorry if that was a short 2 minutes, but I think we can get started. I want to welcome everyone to our 2026 International Women's Forum. And the theme this year is Her Voice Matters, right? So for each of us ladies who have been shushed or cast aside or simply sometimes ignored or even abused, this is a safe place for you today. This is when your sisters lift you up to let you know you have support, you have people that care, and you have a place to turn. So with that, I'm going to give you just a general outline of how we hope things will go today. We have a little combination of real heavy stuff, important issues. We also have wonderful entertainers that will come to us, right? And we have that fashion show, the international fashion show that will culminate everything today. So I hope you just relax and enjoy it. I will say that I welcome our board members. I don't know if any are here, but I want to thank them. Actually, the board of the World Affairs Council, if you're here, stand up and take an applause. I think he's here. There's Dr. Joshi, Karatanai, and Hajir. Okay, and we may have some others coming in later. But that is our board, and they're very important for our organization. But today, the way this program is going to go, we will first have our keynote address. And then we will have a vocal performance. We hope she'll be here by Kirtana Sontanya, who is coming in from Philadelphia. Then we're having this first, a special part of our program today, our first annual Women of Character and Conscience Awards. That, we thought, is important right now, when it's taking such courage, right? And we have to have a conscience, and we have to remind people to have a conscience, right? So the women we're lifting up today have done that. Then we're going to have a fabulous performance from our Irish dancers, and then our fashion show. So if you don't know about the World Affairs Council, we are part of a national network, the World Affairs Councils of America, with the office based in Washington, D.C. And we, as a conference, are closing out our annual Great Decisions discussions, where we hold discussions about 8 of the most important international topics of our time. We just had one on U.S. relations with Africa. It was fascinating. And then the one coming up, it's a Zoom discussion, will be on the future of human rights. That's an important topic as well. But for now, we are going to turn to a voice that truly matters. Dr. Moaya Rabez. She is chair of Middle East Studies and associate professor of Francophone Studies and Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies at Dickinson College. She holds a PhD in Francophone Studies from Florida State University and an SJD in International Law from Penn State Dickinson Law, along with a master's in international law and human rights from Université de Rouen and a bachelor's in law from Université Saint-Joseph in Lebanon. Her interdisciplinary research and teaching explore the intersections of law, gender, sexuality, oral history, and trauma in armed conflicts, with a focus on the Middle East and North Africa. She has published widely in French and English, including peer-reviewed essays, monographs, and editorials in international presses, and I'm happy to say she's even been published in Penn Live, right, with an op-ed. So I will tell you, she's author of Gendering Civil War, Francophones, Women's Writing in Lebanon. She has so many publications. She has so much behind her name that I'm humbled to even stand where she is about to stand. But with that, I am going to invite our friend, our dear friend, Dr. Moaya Rabez, to come.
Short people. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'm honored to stand in front of you here today. Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you for the World Affairs Council of Harrisburg for having me. I'm humbled. And thank you, Dr. Davis, for inviting me to be the keynote speaker. I'm going to go off script a little bit for a second here. You said the topic is her voice. And how many of us today feel hopeless and voiceless, right? I'm thinking of the speaker, the Indian thinker Spivak, and she asked the question in a famous essay called, "Can the Subaltern Speak?" And you just reminded me of the value of sisterhood, because the subaltern may not speak in some spaces, but it's spaces like this where sisters stand together, irrespective of gender, race, ethnicity, citizenship, religion, ability, class. This is where we can hear each other. And I'm so grateful to be given this space to be speaking today about the Middle East. It doesn't matter how many degrees I have. It doesn't matter. What matters today is the humanity that we all need to be thinking of. This is not about me. This is about the people that I represent today. I carry them in my heart, and I wouldn't be here today if they weren't what pushed me to be the best I can be. I was asked to speak about the Middle East in 10-15 minutes. How can I speak in 10-15 minutes about a space that American media tell you is full of hate, violence, people who hate each other, when in reality I see it not only as home, but I see it as space of beauty, diversity, in history, culture, religion, ethnic diversity, languages. It's home to over 200 million Middle Eastern women, beautifully diverse. So there's no way I can do justice to all of these women. No way. How can I speak about that? I'm actually humbled to represent them. And I cannot truly emphasize the beauty that I see in every Middle Eastern sister. Every one of them. Before I talk about the Middle East and Middle Eastern women, I have a few political remarks. Get ready. Nothing is more offensive to me when I hear American interests in the region. It is an expression that I find highly offensive. It is the equivalent of hegemony, capitalism, and colonization for me. We should not be speaking of American interests in the region. The Middle East is a place that has children like our own here, that have dreams, hopes, love. My nephews, I'm thinking of my 4 nephews. One of them likes to draw, one of them likes to paint, one of them is a phenomenal drummer, and one of them likes his cat. He's an animal lover. So why should I be thinking about American interests in the Middle East? This is a sentence that means I don't see people, I see oil. You are a US dollar for me, you can live or die, and it's highly offensive. The other thing I want to say, and I welcome any discussion on Israel-Palestine. I want to break the taboo here. But I reject statements like, so much hate, very simplistic. Why can't people live together in peace? Again, so simplistic. They are terrorists, simplistic. My favorite one, especially here in central Pennsylvania, is, I do not read the news or watch the news, but let me tell you about the Middle East. And it's typically a white man telling me about the Middle East and what I should think about the Middle East. That same low-informed voter is making decisions for all of us here in the room. These oversimplifications are extremely harmful. They assume that all of us are violent. Specifically, I'm speaking here about my community, which is the Arab community, and they were somehow born evil, that we're born to hate each other. It's such a simplistic view of the Middle East and a binary view of the Middle East, where there's no nuance. Do you know that Arabs are Semite as well? I am a daughter of Abraham as well. Let that sink in. Am I proud of what brothers and sisters of Abraham are doing? No. No. Can we do better? Absolutely. Here are a few things to think of. Targeting civilians, no matter who they are, where they come from, is simply unlawful. Whether it's in Cuba, Venezuela, whether it's in Israel, Lebanon, Iran, Palestine, Egypt, Sudan, it doesn't matter. It's unlawful. Annexation and occupation of land is unlawful under international law. Israel is committing a genocide in Palestine. It's committing war crimes in Lebanon, and the US is complicit. And my kid who's standing here, and all of our children, one day will have to pay at least the financial bill for all this war. Where do women of the Middle East stand in this? Where are they? Again, how to summarize 200 million women, right? So instead of summarizing 200 million women, I decided to tell you stories of real women that I know in the Middle East and what they're doing today. I'll refrain from saying their name except for one, to protect their identity. I know an Iranian woman who was a political prisoner for 3 years. She was raped and tortured in Iran under the Iranian regime. Today, she's a refugee in the UK. She still speaks against the Iranian regime, and she still speaks for peace. She does not believe that democracy is established by bombing. We've seen American lessons in democracy in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya. It does not work. I know an Israeli woman. She's actually Palestinian, and her village got swallowed when the state of Israel was created in 1948. So on paper, she's Israeli. Ethnically, she's Palestinian Muslim. She has had 5 miscarriages. We suspect that the Israeli government was engaged in her village in forced sterilization, which is the US government is engaged in at the borders with Latina women and indigenous women. Today, by God's mercy, she had a beautiful daughter. She's also a teacher of human rights, and she teaches her students to speak up for human rights and dignity for all. Her students got recently attacked by settlers in Israel, and she still refuses to speak for hate. She still teaches her daughter to love and her students to love, because that's how they win. That's how hate wins, right? If we reciprocate with hatred. I know a 92-year-old woman from South Lebanon. She's veiled. She's one of my favorite humans. She's veiled, has no teeth, because grandma's, 92. She doesn't want to go to see the dentist anymore. She's older than the state of Israel. She's 92. And she received evacuation orders from the Israeli government. She refused to evacuate. And when we're telling her over the phone, Grandma, you need to evacuate, this is what she tells me. I'm older than that state. I'm not leaving my village. And if they come at me, I'll throw stones at them. Weapons versus grandma. I know a Muslim woman, also from south of Lebanon, who has a cat shelter. She refused to evacuate without her 40 cats. On the phone, she told me that God gave everyone, and animals and humans, souls, and she's responsible for these souls equally. Let that sink in. We have humans killing humans, children, and this woman is refusing to leave without her cats. I know Lebanese nuns in a convent in South Lebanon also sheltering Muslim families who have been displaced by bombs. They told me that the biggest threat to them is not Islam. It's actually white Christian nationalism. Where is Christ in all this hate and violence? He's certainly not in the 3 far-right governments we're seeing these days. He is in every displaced, wounded, hurt, killed, and suffering injustice in the world. I know Lebanese women who refused to evacuate to France. Her husband did leave. She refused to leave because she stands for the wildlife in Lebanon. She speaks for the trees, orchard, bees, cedars, rivers, and mountains. She's documenting the ecocide in Lebanon, and she's writing article upon article about the white phosphorus and the banned weapon that Israel is using in South Lebanon at her own risk. I know a Lebanese woman who is a civil engineer. She works in a heavily male-dominated field, and her main concern right now is how to rebuild bombed bridges so we remain connected to our own villages. I know 2 amazing nurses who I'm proud to call my sisters back home. One is actually in Lebanon, one is actually in Abu Dhabi. They treat the injured who come through the emergency rooms, irrespective of who they are, what religion they are, what citizenship they are. It doesn't matter. They're there to heal the wounded. I know an Armenian woman from Jerusalem who was forced out of historical Palestine, and even today, in her moments of dementia, she asks to go home to Jerusalem, a place where she can never go back to. Lastly, let me tell you about a 76-year-old woman who's dear to my heart. She got married, she was 25 years old when the war started in Lebanon. When the war started in Lebanon, it was basically everyone in Lebanon. Israel, Palestine, Syria, United States, France, Iran, you name it, it was there. Aliens, maybe even. She had dreams for her family, and none of these dreams, she had big hopes for her family. It would be wrong to say none of the dreams came true, but they came true at a heavy price. In 1982, Beirut was under a siege. Israel imposed a siege on Beirut. 19,000 Lebanese died in the Israeli siege of Beirut. President Reagan called Prime Minister of Israel at the time, and he told him, his words, not mine, you should stop the Holocaust in Lebanon right away. Instead of the world being offended by the death of fellow humans, they were offended by the use of the word Holocaust. In 1988, as war is raging, we call all these different factions. I was 7 years old. I was crossing with this woman in different spaces and different borders, different towns. And a man looks at my mom, at this woman, and he tells her, you shall not pass. She has had enough. She climbs a tank. That woman climbs a tank, looks at all the soldiers and militiamen at that moment and tell them, and I quote, no man shall tell me what to do. I thought we were dead. I thought we were dead. But that woman had so much faith in God and her belief in human rights that she stood up on a tank and told a militia guy, no man shall tell me what to do. In 1982, to go back, during the siege of Beirut, that woman smuggled 3 children under the age of 5 outside Beirut into safety on foot. I was an infant. The oldest was under 5. Another time, this same woman shoved police officers and military personnel out of her way because she heard that my school was bombed. When she got to the shelter, she found me and my brother in a dark space, pitch black, holding each other's hands. It wasn't the security or firefighters who got to me, it was that woman. A few days ago, we in my Orthodox church, we celebrated the Annunciation Day, which is the day where Angel Gabriel asked Mary if she would agree to carry Christ. It's a holy day in my church. I believe many of us in the faith, in different faiths, we believe in that day. This woman that I'm telling you about got blessed oil from church, and in the dead of the night, at the age of 76, went out to the village and painted the sign of the cross on people's houses. You don't have to share my faith to understand that this woman, in her belief, thought that there's no God in this war, and that the simple sign of the cross somehow is going to be a salvation to people. Irrespective if they were Muslim or Christian, it didn't matter. To her, it's only God that's going to save us from this. This woman's name to many is Giselle. But to me, she's mama. To me, she's mama. Mama today is not listening to evacuation orders from the Israeli government or to the news when I call her, if I manage to get her, she has her prayer book. It's really funny because on the one hand, she's cursing and cussing everyone. On the other hand, she has a holy book in her hand. And it's just like she tells me there's no God in any of what's happening. There's no humanity in any of what's happening. And that she refuses to listen to godless men leading this war. These are the women of the Middle East that I know. They're beautiful, powerful, educated, resilient, loving, compassionate, and full of empathy. In Lebanese, we have a saying, إيدك عنه وما عليك منه. Leave it be, it does not need you. Women of the Middle East do not need the United States to save it, for we are an institution of women's rights. Thank you.
Well, that was quite moving. I knew her voice mattered, and I knew we all would hear how much it mattered. But I know she sat down, but if anyone has a question, if anyone would like to ask her anything, I know she'll come back up, so I'll give this opportunity at least. But I had no idea that your mother was still going through all of what's going through. And we all know, because we're paying attention to the news, at least I am every minute, that they say there's no place safe now. No place. So our hearts go out to you. There is no way we can say we understand unless we've been through that. But Lord, we are definitely supporting and praying for you. So you relax for the rest of it. And we can have her come back up. Let's give her a little bit of a break. But sister, you're really something else. You really are. Thank you for being here. Let's move to our next panel, and then we can also bring Maria back up when we do a Q&A after the panel. So now I want to call up our distinguished speakers, and I will give you a little look. We have such great people here that they have such long bios that it's impossible to do them justice. It really is. But I will now ask our panelists, our speakers, to come forward to take their place on the podium, and we will allow each one of them to offer their remarks because their voices do matter. First, Dr. Hajar El-Sheikh. Okay, she's going to talk to us about voices of women refugees and just simply survival. Take your place. Yep. And Dr. Renu Joshi, Women and Health, another member of our board, renowned here, operating a health clinic. Oh, I didn't say anything more about, but Dr. Hajar El-Sheikh is chairwoman and CEO of Hajar Network, as well as founder and president of several organizations, including HSE Staffing Agency, Kareem's Mission, which is in this on this campus, and it's Kareem Mission Autism Support Community Center, advocate for human rights, and author of Dreamer in Chains, Poems of Exile and Resilience. It's a powerful collection of raw and courageous poetry, and you should hear some of it. We've featured her before. And Dr. Renu Joshi, really, she's an endocrinologist and diabetologist with over 30 years of experience in the field, with a special interest in diabetes and population health. She has developed a cutting-edge, innovative model of care for both hospital and office settings, and she has been instrumental in improving glucose control in the hospital and has published extensively in the field. I will tell you that I'm such a fan of both Dr. Joshi and her husband, Nirmal, because they are just doing such cutting-edge work, and they're doing it on their own. They've started their own Joshi Health Clinic. It's a clinic that if you don't have health insurance, you could at least get some care from them. That's, their heart is in that. And they also have just published, they just have a video out there called The Brown Heart. Let me tell you, you don't have to be Asian you can be black like me and get a lot out of what she has done with The Brown Heart. So make sure, because it's on YouTube, right? make sure you see that. But they're working on a lot of other stuff. They're just a couple to be admired. And Dr. Renew is a person, a woman to be admired. And now we'll have Nicole Wilkerson, who will come up to speak to us also about women empowerment. She is a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania native. And yeah, she is, and Harrisburg High graduate. She earned a BFA in Theater Arts Administration from Howard University on a full scholarship. She founded Knick-Knack Entertainment, working with major organizations like BET, Pepsi, and Ford's Theater. After exploring corporate roles, Nicole returned to entrepreneurship. Launching Nicole is making it happen, helping people build sustainable budgets and monetize social media. She has over 40,000 followers, right, on social media. She is really something, but I was so impressed because we were listening, actually at a church, listening to a pastor, and he told us about Nicole Wilkerson and what she is doing right in Harrisburg to lift up women, grassroots empowerment. So I was so impressed, I said I have to invite her to be a part of this discussion. And then we have another very important lady to be in our midst, Michelle Emerson. She is going to speak to us about women, government, and politics, and she's a native of Albany, New York, a graduate of Russell Sage College, an all-women's college established in 1920 in upstate New York, where she earned a BS in nursing. She went on to complete a master's degree in nursing, midwifery from Columbia University. Her passion lies in providing compassionate, safe, quality, and affordable health care for women, children, and families, but she is here specifically because she's also the president of the League of Women Voters in Central Pennsylvania. And there's nothing we need more than to make sure our voices are heard at the ballot box. So she is really going to talk to us about that. That is our list of panelists. I'm going to ask them to go in this order. I'm going to ask Dr. Hajrullah Sheikh to speak first, then Dr. Joshi, then I'll talk to Michelle Emerson to have her offer her remarks, and then we'll end with that every woman can do it spirit, Nicole, and then from there we'll come back up and I will take questions and answers. So why don't you take it away, Hajir?
Sure. Thank you guys for being here, and I don't think anyone can top Dr. Morell. You are always been one of my favorite, and one thing that Dr. Morell did not say to you, that she suffered consequences for speaking out and for being who she is. And no one should suffer from stating the truth and standing firm for not just other women, but for human rights. So thank you again, Dr. Morell. One of the things that Dr. Joyce said, and you mentioned again, and I have it, my theme this year for Women History, not on the show only, but the article that I wrote, it is forged but not fragile. And, you know, as someone who lived, and me and Morell were just talking before she spoke, that I called some of my family in Sudan and I said to them, guess what? You are in the safest place in the world. Isn't that irony? Sudan was bombed. The war destroyed the whole country. There is nothing else to bomb. So literally, it is the safest place in the world right now. There is no interest. The gold is all stolen. Yes, it is one of the most fertile land in the world, Haiti and Sudan. Full with resources. If you use your phone, if you have, use makeup, Arabic gum, cotton you're wearing, this is all came from that region. The country is totally white. And to say it and laugh about it, and they were laughing, like the rest of my family, they are laughing. Most of the country is refugee either in Egypt or in surrounding areas. Infrastructure is destroyed. We're not talking about, healthcare, human trafficking, torture, abuse, all of that. And it's not safe, right? But now it is. Let that sink in. Same with what Dr. Mirel said, there is nothing we can say in 10 minutes to summarize a journey of any woman, let alone a refugee woman. Before you want to talk about how any person who became a refugee in any place, you need to know why, the reason, why people leave home, right? When the safest option is for you to flee, your mom walked on foot. My sister went from Sudan to Uganda on foot. I had the same experience, but we're not going to go through all of that. People leave because it's not safe to stay. Simple. If we want to prevent refugee and migration, we need to stop violence. We need to stop killing. We need to stop becoming the police of the world. And that's what literally, not here, but here in the United States, but China, Russia, I can name several countries, including countries in the Middle East and in Africa. And when we had the discussion about why the condition and the situation is happening right now, and it's going because the invasion from other countries, but also enabling, our countries here, or my home country, Sudan, Lebanon, we did not have a strong government. Women's voices were silenced, and we can go on and on in a long list. But I know we don't have all of the time in the world, so that's why I wrote some things, and I'm just going to say it. How many of you, at some point of your life, and I'm talking to women right now, no disrespect to the men, but you will come later. How many of you were told to lower your voice? Just raise your hand. Soften your opinion. Be nice. Be careful. Be less. Stop sounding angry. An angry black woman. Phenomenal. Raise your hand. Don't be shy. All of you, right? So if you look around, some people didn't raise your hand. I would love to know where you were raised and what government were you under. So, this is not a shared memory. What I'm just talking about, this is inheritance. I inherit the violence that I received, and I was told it's normal as a female genital mutilation survivor, a torture survivor, sexual survivor. So the abuse was not just because, they had power, but because you exist. As a woman, you shouldn't exist to begin with, let alone come and talk about your right. And as an 11 years old, that's what I was doing. I'm 49 years old now. So 38 years of my life, just think about that. From 11 to today, I've been fighting dictatorship, fighting regime, and used my voice to do so, and I will continue doing it until I die, because I believe we are all here, regardless of your, religious background or ethnicity. We're here for a reason and to fulfill a mission, and our mission is to educate. And what else they gonna do? I got it all. Like same, Mirel will say, and her mom, I was detained, torture, hung from a tree, beating from my head to my toe, almost died, head bashed open, sexually assaulted. What else is going to happen? And at some point, I think the dictatorship or the regimes, they don't understand that when being strong is the only option you have, you are going to continue being strong. And all the women here and the men, we just need to stop lowering our voice and our expectation to make other people happy. We need to stop shrinking so we can fit somebody else's hand or imagination. And when that ends, who is powerful? There are 200 million women in the Middle East. And multiply that in Africa or here in other world. Just women alone. And amazing men like the one attending here, and that's not by, incident. You came here because you made a decision to support. You're her husband. You have no other option. But the rest of you, Rich here and Russell is your husband, so he didn't have another option. But women were literally made to believe from the day that they were born that their voices don't matter. And this theme here, our voice matter, from every corner of the globe. Why? In every boardroom and break room, kitchen tables and classrooms, there is not such a thing as this woman is better than the other because she has a degree or a title. No, from refugee camps to Village Road to City Street, from women who have titles, big titles, on the women nobody ever asked them what they do or what were their dreams. My mom, just like yours, my mom passed away in 2020, but she was illiterate. And that was not by her choice. Her very first day in school, she came back home, told her dad that she was to be a teacher. And he said the woman place is at home. Took her out of school, and this cycle continued, right? So she fought in her own way. She made a difference, and she wanted to live her dream through us, not just because she wanted to live our dream, but she wanted to make sure that we go way further than she ever did. And those are the women that no one look at them and say, she didn't go to school, so she can have her kids have a better life, or she did not have a big title, right? Some women and some people are not as hyperactive like us, and they do a million things at the same time. So, like I said, 38 years of my life, I have been, it felt like a commitment and relationship with the fight or flight. It wasn't an option, survival mode. Spent my whole life in survival mode. Every time, I say this, people laugh, and I laugh, not because it's funny, but because sometimes pain will swallow us. And if you look at the world right now, you won't have other option but to be depressed. But we're here to remind you, we survived. We made it out, whether that being, walking days and staying in refugees camps and coming here. And we don't want to take what we have for granted. We don't want you to take what you have for your granted. You don't need to be a refugee or go through torture to feel others' pain. You don't need to be on my shoes, walk on my shoes or Morel's shoes to know that, being human is something that is not a questionable thing, right? So there is a lot that we can do collectively. There is nothing that I can say to express and speak on behalf of refugees or women who've been through it, but I think you guys get the picture. So right when our right disappear, when you are forced to leave, then you know you're strong. And everyone here in this room is strong. I can continue for days, but I'm gonna stop here and pass it on to
Thank you for that wonderful voice for women. So I will start by, I will probably just do a little story. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech, brought tears to my eyes. And I would give credit to my woman first. Like all of you, I'm an immigrant. And one of the things my woman mother taught me when I was in 10th grade, she said, no matter what you do in life, just make sure you make money for yourself. And education is the only way you can do that. So make sure you study hard and just never be dependent on anyone for your life. And that was the first woman voice I heard, and I think that made a big story. So that was one thing. The second thing, which I think she raised a very beautiful point, that voices are heard, but you're still discriminated. And that discrimination happens no matter how high you reach. So I used to be at Pinnacle, everybody knows that. My career was at Pinnacle for 25 years, 30 years. And I was the first woman vice president to become in 30 years of Pinnacle life. There was not a single woman vice president in that place. Although it's a huge place with more than 50% women workforce. And when I used to talk, I was called aggressive. Same story, right? When a man says that, they are persistent and he can get things done. But when a woman says, and I would talk to my men colleagues and telling them, hey, this is how it should be done, and I was told, you are an aggressive woman. Okay, but things need to be done, right? So what I'm saying is that discrimination can happen till high tiers of your life, but you still have to sail through and make your work through and not give up. That's the first thing. Now coming to the topic, I can talk a lot of topics, but my topic is women's health. And the best part of my life is the last 4 years when I gave up Pinnacle and we started our Joshi Health Foundation, which is a free clinic where we take everyone and anyone from all across the globe. We don't ask anything except your name, date of birth, and address, and a phone number, so we can reach out to you in time of need. 60% of our people are Spanish. The rest are, when the Afghanistan war thing happened a few years ago, we suddenly got a flood of refugees from Afghanistan. And I get a lot of Arabic women from Egypt, primarily. And when you see these women, or you see the woman of color anywhere, or you see Asian women, doesn't matter. The problems are still the same. The diabetes, you take cancer, you take women health, you take reproductive health, you take heart disease. I mean, it is still #1 cause of death in women, and women die much more than men in that scenarios because they don't get care. It's always everyone else comes first and I come the last. But when you sit in an airplane, what does an air hostess tell you? Put the mask on yourself. Before they put the mask on your kid. What we are doing, put mask on our husbands, on our kids, and everybody else across the room, except us. But what we don't realize that our oxygen is going to go down because we don't have the mask on. So as a woman, I tell every woman that you need to take care of yourself. And I'll tell you some of the stories are in a way heartwarming because we were able to do something. But when you hear them in our clinic, it's crazy because people don't come to us now. Many people just are scared to show up in the clinic that you might see an ICE agent because it's a free clinic. And plus we see everyone. We don't ask their legal status. So people are scared to come. And these are the women, some of them were doing very well in their country. They came for a better life. They all are working hard, very hard, doing 12 hours, 14 hour jobs, but they don't have insurance. Because their employers do not give them insurance. They're doing odd jobs, right? Somebody's in a truck and somebody, moving boxes and stuff like that. So when they don't have insurance, they come to us. So while they were having good care 5 years ago, for the last 5 years, they have not seen a doctor. And when we do provide free blood care, blood test to everyone. And that is through our foundation. We have, talked with labs and they give us very cheap price. So we can offer lab work to every woman or every man, anyone who comes to our clinic. And when you find, is the same problem. Their diabetes, some of them have sugars of 500 and they're working. And you tell them, go to the emergency room, and they said, no, I'm going to be deported. So what is more important? Living a life? There was a guy, she was not a woman, it was a guy, whose kidney was failing. And we told him, we can't do anything for you. You need to go, you need to have a dialysis. And he said, if I go to emergency room, they're going to kick me out. I would rather just die at home. So such are the stories. They're gut-wrenching, right? But on the other hand, when they come to us, we talk to them, we help them in whichever way, and we try to get them to the like-minded people where we can support them, right? So, as I tell Joyce always, the last 5 years has been the most soulful part of my life. Before that, when I was doing a paying job, I was helping me, I was helping my family, and that was important. Yeah, and I was also feeling my soul because I still took care of many people. But this job is really soulful. So what I can say is, as a woman, 3 things. Number 1, take care of your health. If you have not seen a doctor, go see today. If you can afford, if you cannot afford, come to me and I'll take care of that. And number 3, if you're found to have any problem, please take care of yourself. I don't want you to be having diabetes. I want you to be having a heart attack. I don't want you to die of breast cancer. I don't want you to die of uterine cancer, because you are the powerful woman of home. Thank you. My turn. Well, I feel very inadequate compared to my colleagues who have spoken. I certainly have not come from their lives. I have traveled. I am a nurse midwife. I'm retired. So I fortunately had an opportunity to travel in Mexico, to Ukraine, to South Africa. And I'm here talking about women in government and politics. I'll circle back to my travels, but something that I have loved is that childbirth, we all have babies the same. Doesn't matter, what your ethnicity is. There are customs that are different and beautiful among different cultures. And it's been a passion of mine to learn some of those, because women and their families teach me that. Really to be respectful and to let them have their babies. It's just been a beautiful thing. Well, where are we in 2026 in women in government and politics? Isn't that a good question? So when Joyce, said this is your topic, I thought, oh my. It's kind of large. But let me say, I looked just at a couple statistics, and I know they're dry, but they're interesting. I looked at our Pennsylvania government, and then I looked at Washington. So, we send senators and House of Representatives there. But Pennsylvania, since 1790, so not quite 250 years, has never elected a woman as governor. Isn't that interesting, right? And the government here in PA started in 1790. And today, in the House of Representatives here, there's 203 we have 203. 65 are women, and that's one short of the total. At the highest was back a few years ago. That's not even close to half, all right? Our senators here in the state, we have 2 men. Pardon me?
Some of them are useless.
Oh. So one thing I will tell you, I am representing the League of Women Voters. We're nonpartisan, so that means we do not support a candidate or a political party. It doesn't mean we don't have values and we support issues. For 65 years, African American and white women fought and marched for the right to vote, which finally happened in 1920. So that was not that long ago, folks. It was in my mother's life. And it's under attack today. So same thing in DC. There's never been a female president in this country. But you look at countries around the world, many of them have female leaders. So you ask yourself why. You hear the voices are quieted in your countries, that you've talked about. Well, I think they're quieted here. Do you see? It's more subversive, but it still is happening. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, one thing that I see, I looked at how many women have started wars, because that bothers me. Does it bother anybody else here? I'm a nurturer. Now, I have a loud voice because I'm from New York, so when you ask, has anyone told me to be quiet? Well, don't we all yell there? I mean, that's just how it is, folks. But, yeah, have women started wars? Well, you have to go back centuries. I mean, Catherine the Great and women like that. So we tend not to start wars. Well, one here, there's never been a woman as president. But I see a difference with our gender, and I think it's a good difference. We want to, well, first we're nurturers. I do not have children, but I consider the 3,000 babies I helped bring into the world my children. And they became families to me. But I find that to be a big issue. Now, if you are a U.S. citizen and you're 18 years of age, you have the right to vote. We have a huge problem. In Pennsylvania, there's 6.8 million voters. There's 2.1, I think, not registered to vote, who legally could vote. You see what's going on in this current administration. And every minute, it is a strike against our democracy and against our rights, and every single one of them. I look at TV, and the president is telling a big report, she's not big, but her company is, a reporter, to what? Shh. Shh. Yes, shush piggy, right, piggy. What would, my first reaction probably would be to slap him. But, and the other reporters standing there in all of these situations do not say anything. Or they'll ask a question and he refuses to answer. And the next reporter doesn't ask him the same question. And so it's a pattern of behavior. I was in South Africa in 2016. And I went over there to do some work with women's health issues. And I had a doctor, a female doctor there, taking me around to some Methodist way out in the boonies, in poverty areas, talking about healthcare, and then in the city of Johannesburg. So she invited me to come for lunch after church. And a couple of her friends asked me a very interesting question. Out of the blue, they said to me, are you going to vote for X, the current administration? And I looked at them and I thought, I'm here doing medical work, why are you asking me that? And, politics is corrupt here in South Africa. And I said, well, news alert, it's corrupt here in the United States. I thought I could get out of answering that question. Well, no, they persisted. So I said, no, I'm not going to vote for that individual. And here's the reason why. When I grew up here in the United States, we looked up to the president. They had self-control. They had intellect. They had a presence. They had diplomacy. And diplomacy means where you work with people, you don't have to agree with them, but you have civilized discussions and come to mutual agreements. But I said no. And I knew, I'm from New York again, and the president's from New York. So I said, he has made fun of people, I think it was Tourette's syndrome, but there was somebody in the audience and they were just shaking, and it's part of how, it's a medical disorder. And he's making fun of this person. And I told these people in South Africa, my granddaughter has Down syndrome. And he's going to unleash something in this country where people have learned to behave and interact in a respectful way. And I can see that is not going to, he's going to unleash voices that should be kept on the leash. And here we are in 2026, and I'm wondering what they're thinking. But it saddens me. So I just want you to know, if you're worried about ICE, you are a citizen, but you don't want to go to the polls, there's a mail-in ballot. Well, no, we're not. No, they're not. Okay, look, we have a primary, May 19th. So we don't want to hear any voices saying that it's going to happen. It's not going to happen in time for the primary, and it was rejected yesterday in the U.S. government. So the SAVE Act was rejected. Will it reappear? Of course. He wants to silence your voices, especially as women. Okay? Do not let this administration silence your voice. And your voice, we have a brochure that says, your voice is your vote. Or your vote is your voice, I guess it really says. And believe that. We are where we are because people, I don't know, believed things that many of us knew were never going to happen. And you couldn't dream how bad is going to become. And the League of Women Voters, I'll just finish here, goes to naturalization ceremonies. And you receive the right to vote when you become a citizen, but they don't give you a voter registration form, I'll have you know. So we show up, we have a table, we have food, and we encourage people to get registered to vote, talk about, how you can do that. And, but I find a good number of people who have become naturalized and have that right to vote do not vote. Now, I agree, our political system is difficult to understand. I mean, I'm the first one. So we have made inroads, me personally, and brought our league with it, trying to reach out to communities that have different culture, different language, where we can help their folks teach their communities, the ins and outs of how to vote. So we're working with the Bhutanese community, and now it's been 3 years, taking off on their own. And so I'm very excited for them. So that in their country, they lived in prison camps for 20 years, the older ones. So they never had a right to vote. They didn't understand it. So now the younger folks are teaching the elders. And so that's progress. So if you know anybody who needs that kind of help to get their community to vote, get in touch.
Wow, so I have to follow up all of this. Whose bright idea was this? Goodness, so I have to bring it, right? Okay, so my name is Nicole Wilkerson. I am the founder of The Womb. Let me ask you guys this question. When you think of the word womb, what do you think of? Just yell it out. Baby, new beginnings, safety, women, new generation. What about nurturing? What about a safe space? So those are all of the concepts and the things that I thought about when I created The Womb. The Womb was a concept that I created almost 10 years ago, but I wasn't quite sure of how I wanted to bring it to fruition. I am what you call a serial entrepreneur. I have had many businesses, and not one time have I been afraid to start a business. Not one time have I been afraid to step out on faith and create more income for myself and my family. But this particular venture, I was fearful of, because it wasn't just affecting me, but it was going to affect every single woman in my community. So I knew that when I brought this forth, it had to be brought forth right, because I will be affecting other people's incomes, other people's households. So I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for 10 years about this, asking God to show me the right way to do this. And the exact day that Donald Trump announced the ending of DEI, God brought it to me. Originally, the WOMB stood for women owning and managing minority businesses. But that day, God said, no. DEI has ended. DEI wasn't just for black and brown women. It was for all women, black, brown, purple, blue, green, and any color that you want to make up. So the WOMB now stands for Women Owning and Managing Businesses, because we are an inclusive organization. So that day, he told me exactly the format of the meeting. He told me where I was going to have the meeting. He told me who to reach out to for my speakers. Everything I needed, he mapped out for me within a 24-hour period. I couldn't stop writing. I was going from room to room. It was like his voice was chasing me. Have you guys ever seen the movie, The Ten Commandments? Where you hear God speaking in that deep voice? That's what I heard in my head. And it was scary. Like I was going from room to room, leaving my pen in one room and the pad in the other, because I knew he was telling me what to do, and I knew he was using me as a vessel. But I was afraid of if I could do it right. So I was trying to run away from it, and he wouldn't let me. I couldn't even sleep that night. So I said, you know what? You prayed for this for 10 years. Why are you running? Why are you afraid? Do what he said do. So I reached out to people. In 48 hours, I had the venue secured for our meeting place. We meet once a month, the fourth Thursday of every month. I had every single speaker laid out from May to June. And not one of those speakers that I reached out to told me no. Not one. And I was amazed, because I'm like, how does everyone keep telling me yes? Like, I'm used to being told no. Or, oh, your dreams are too big. That's just too much. But not one woman told me that. They all agreed to do it. So, guys, the WOMB is a safe, non-judgmental space for not only women who have businesses, but women who want to start a business and just don't know how. They're looking for someone to energize them. They're looking for someone to give them the resources to go ahead and start their business. We also have women who come to our organization who will never, ever in their life start a business, but they want to be around positive women and they want to support them. And then we have women who come, get the information, and take it back to other women. So we welcome all women. All women. Doesn't matter. So, like I said, I started the WOMB because I saw a real need for a non-judgmental space where women entrepreneurs could come together to be supported, educated, and encouraged. I have found too often that women are trying to build businesses on their own without the access of mentorship, without the access of a accountability partner. They're trying to build these businesses on their own without collaboration or without community support. And no one has got to the top by themselves. No one. Everyone has had support from someone. Everyone has shared someone's resource. And the sooner that we as women recognize that, and recognize that we have to hold each other accountable, that we have to share those resources, that we have to collaborate with one another, that we have to support one another, we will start becoming the voices of our community. We will start to grow those businesses that are prominent within our community. So that is why the womb was created. It was created to change the mindset of not only women in the community, but the community as a whole. We want to be a nurturing environment where women can grow, learn, and thrive. So our mission statement is to empower women to start, manage, and grow successful businesses. We provide a dedicated and supportive community that uplifts, educates, and inspires women through networking, mentorship, and shared resources. Our mission is to cultivate confidence, collaboration, and growth amongst women entrepreneurs, helping them to turn their visions into thriving realities while making a positive impact within their community, their families, and the country as a whole. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to exclude the gentlemen. One thing that I do every year is I try to find a quote or an affirmation that I can live by throughout the year. And for 2026, I had a little difficult time doing that. I usually have it like right after Christmas. But I was having a difficult time finding one. And then on New Year's Day, I'm scrolling through the internet, and what kept popping up on my screen was the saying, I am she is me. And that really resonated with me. So I said, you know what, that's what it's gonna be. So I'm not gonna bore you guys anymore with preaching at you or being on my soapbox, but what I do want you to do is I want you to participate in an exercise with me. When I say something, I want you to say, I am she is me. I am a beautiful woman inside and out. I am she is me. I am a woman with a brain. I am she is me. I am a woman with an opinion that matters. I am she is me. I am a woman of significance. I will always support my fellow women. I am she is me. I love to compliment women. I am she is me. Now this is one that might touch some people in here because we as women are always nurturing other people, right? We're always giving other people compliments, but we don't know how to take a compliment sometimes. When someone says, oh, that's a nice dress. Oh, it's 10 years old. Instead of just saying thank you, right? So, when someone compliments you, you're going to accept that compliment proudly. She is me. This is Women's History Month. I will support all women in my community. I will support at least one woman-owned business before the month is out. I will continue to support women businesses throughout 2026. I will continue to support women businesses throughout the rest of my life. My name is Nicole Wilkerson. I am the founder of The Womb. I am she and she is me.
I am she and she is me. All right, that's our motto. That was beautiful. Each one of these ladies, as you heard, brought a special message, right? A special message of survival, of rising above, a special message of taking care of yourself. But that message that, look, if you can vote and you're not voting, you are making all of the misery that we're going through possible. Okay, and I'm not even talking about the ones who voted for whatever, but I'm just talking about the ones that even just stayed home and did not vote. So I just ask everyone, even if you're not a citizen yet, but you know someone who is, please make sure that they vote. It is so important. Most Americans do not. And that is a crime. That is a crime. So with that, I'm going to now ask, you've heard all of these statements. I could talk with them for a long time, right? But what questions? This is your opportunity. And what Nicole said also resonated so much with me because especially, I could say everywhere, but especially in our region now, we find that so many women are not supporting each other, that they're fighting each other. And guys, that's a mistake. We understand what we're going through and we should be there for each other and not using opportunities to backbite and to talk bad and all of that. We should support each other. We can always pull someone aside and tell them what we have to say, right? One woman to woman, so to speak. But let's take that message that Nicole just gave us. Support, stand with each other, right? And we will benefit personally. But let's hear you. You have questions. I won't talk forever, but anyone who would like to delve in and ask any of our panelists a question, or even, I'm sure Maria would be willing to answer some questions. Yes, let me bring you the microphone.
My name is Shada Herzullah. I am a medical doctor and public and health advocate. Firstly, thank you for this amazing conference. I believe as women we need this, without men especially. I would like, not to ask, but I would like also to really reassure for what they were saying. As women, we need to support each others. We have the mentality of the limited mentality in our brains that this world doesn't have so much opportunities or so much things. So if we got this, like when you support each other, all of us will improve, all of us will succeed, all of us will end up to having a good. So if she will be a doctor, the other one will be a businesswoman, the other one will be a mother. We are supporting, we are building a community, and then this community will improve because we're benefiting each other. So I believe, like, if you are full from your inside, and the woman really need to work in her like confidence and her inside. So if you are full from love and success and being peaceful, you will be supporting for everyone. Not just the woman, the whole world. You will have your own peace and your own health and your own confidence and your own touch. So I believe after we will pass away, people will not remember what we are reading or what we did eat or how much money we are having in our bank, but they will never forget the good words you say to them or the support that you give them. So congratulations for every woman, and thank you.
Well said, well said. You know, I also, one question I could ask each one of you too as you get your questions together. There is one thing that many women struggle with, and it would be nice to hear from you how you tackle it. And that's just the simple thing of self-esteem and self-confidence. So many of us are afraid to stand up here and look like an idiot, right? Like me. So it's okay, because guess what? None of you are thinking bad of me if I make a mistake, right? You're saying, oh, I wish I could help her. If you're good. And if you're bad, I don't care, right? Right? So how did you struggle? How did you deal with self-confidence?
I think you have enough time for all of us to say what we struggle with, but it's probably mutual. Everyone here, we're told they're not enough. We're told they are not going to make it. The anger. I have a poem. I'm not going to read it for you, but assertive, not angry. Go look at that poem. But it's talk about how we call women bold, right? They call her bold, a woman whose strengths cannot be controlled, blah, 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 end of the poem. The whole idea is people always want you to be in a box, and you just gotta break out of that box. I've been told no all my life, been told you're doing too much. You talk about serial entrepreneur. I have several businesses that I created, and one thing that you hear from other people, like, oh, find your niche. Even with my talk show, find your niche. Well, my niche is having no niche. How about that? Like, I'll do it all. I can do it all. I'll do the things that I love. And there is a saying also to limit us is, jack of all trade and master of none. How about jack of all trade and master of all trade? And that's for every woman there that is being told, choose something. If you love it, do it.
I was going to say the same thing. But yes, we all have times in our career or a time when we are either told that you are nothing, or you feel like no matter what you do, you just can't get there, right? And we all have those moments in our lives. So one thing which helps, beside what she said, that you have to find that niche, what is you good at, and just try to focus on that. But sometimes a good supporter, having a nice shoulder, having a nice person to listen to, and that could be another woman, that could be another friend, that could be anyone in your life who you trust. Like I learned from, her woman was her mom. Like my woman is my mom, or my best friends lean on to me and tell me, how do you say everything with so confidence? And I said, you have to build that. So I help them build that confidence just by one person at a time. So, and also remember, the positive appreciation will always get you there. But if you're going to receive a negative appreciation from everyone, from what you do, you're going to keep sinking down. So whenever you get that negative appreciation, fight it and say, why did you say negative? To me, it's good. And then find another person who can give you positive appreciation. That you learn from your children also, right? If you have to criticize from something, you have to say 2 positive things first. And then they listen to. So find a person who can say 2 positive things about yourself, and I think you can all find one. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So one thing I would say, as a teacher or as a mother, as a parent, I think we can show kids, I would always show my students, encourage them, mentor them. I would see the best in my pregnant teens and encourage them to become a nurse. They just loved, I want to be a midwife. And so I think that can be missing. We're critical. And I think criticism suppresses confidence. And so that's what I would say.
One of the ways that I deal with self-confidence and low self-esteem is I allow people's negativity and bad remarks, rude remarks, as fuel to my fire. I'm a rebel. I've been called fat, black, nappy head, dumb, nigger, and I use all of that to fuel me to keep going because I want to prove you wrong. I want to show you that I'm none of those things that you said I was. I can do anything that I want to do. You're not going to stop me. You're not going to stand in my way. So use that negativity. Use those bad thoughts to fuel your fire to keep going and to get to where you want to be.
Very good, Nicole. And another thing I'll add to that. A lot of it comes from within our own selves, right? And one thing I always said is, I will never defeat me. Somebody else may defeat me, but I'm not going to defeat myself. So get rid of that inside of you telling you you're not good enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not smart enough, or whatever. You are whatever you want to be, right? Nurture your own inner woman, right? I am she. That is exactly right. I am she is me. Any other questions? Yes.
As a young generation, we must all learn to help even in small ways.
And you can never say what's small, because being nice or helping someone, it may be small to you, but it may be big to them, really. You never know. So, anyway, yes, sir.
It's not a question. I just want to say that what the accomplished and distinguished panel we have here, and also all in the audience, likewise. So I want to share with you something heartwarming, that whatever we are doing, as a woman and also men, also they have to come on board, that the future is going to be great. It will be continuously to go on. And that is because in the holy scripture of the Baha'i religion, Baha'u'llah revealed that when women become more involved with the affairs of the world, the peace will come to the world. Because the woman will not allow the child that she bore in her womb and many years to care for, someone take that child to somebody else's battleground. So that's why we men have also helped, because that child is our son also, or our daughter. So we all have to be on board together to advance the cause. Thank you.
Bazad, thank you so much. And Bazad is one of our Peace Awardees. We have an annual Peacemaker Award, and he's received it. Yeah, and he deserves it. Yeah. So with that, unless there's a burning question, or anyone, yes, there's a burning question.
Yes, my name is Himabindu Koduru. I'm a senior application developer and an artist and a business owner as well. So I just want to ask one question. As you women achieved so much, so how did you handle with the negativity that you have got? So whenever we start something new that the others are not doing, so there are people who support us, and on the other side, there are people who want to drag us down, say like, why are you doing this? What's the purpose? You shouldn't have, this is so much hard work. So what do we do with such people? Do we need to let them go, handle them, explain to them?
Don't waste your time with them.
Exactly. I will just answer this quick. When I started my business many years ago, I sat down with, many of you heard this story before, I sat down with the business administrator from the Small Business Administration to just consult me. And I was very new, just having a lot going on. He sat down with me, he listened to everything I wanted to say. I'm a nurse, by the way, and that's why most of givers are in healthcare, you will see. But he sat down, listened to me, and he said, you have all the good recipes to succeed, like you are a nurse, so your company in healthcare is going to succeed. You're smart, you know what you're doing, but you're gonna file bankruptcy in your first year. That's the small business. That's the man supposed to help me, right? Because he said, you are a black woman, you have an accent. You're a woman first, black woman, and have an accent. And that's like just summarizing me and everything that I've been through in those three things. And if you knew anything about me, I survived way more than that. So all I needed to hear is you can't do it. And sometime that's all you need to know. Like, you're not gonna be able to do it, you're gonna fail. And not to prove them, because I care about proving other people, wrong. No, I don't give their opinion any. You have to surround yourself with positive people. And if you keep trying to prove yourself to others, you're gonna spend the rest of your life making somebody happy, because somebody's gonna have an opinion about you, no matter what you do, right? But I wanted to, rub that in his face. And I did. 5 years, I called him and I said, I'm still here. I didn't file bankruptcy. So success is not, you're not doing it just to prove yourself to others, but have that as a fuel. That's, you always hear me say negativity, you have a choice to look at the glass, not just half full or half empty, but also to use this negativity as your fire to make it either push you, make you, or break you. And you have a choice. A lot of people will tell you, you don't have a choice. You do. You can choose to let any negativity destroy you or use it. If somebody threw brick at me, I will build steps or a wall to protect myself. When they say life throw lemon at you, make lemonade, nope. I'm gonna take that, collect that lemon and make a big jug and make everybody else around me drink. So it's perspective, if that makes sense.
Again, all of us are in healthcare, so we think from our brain. As a doctor, I can think. So when we started to make the movie, which Joyce very nicely said, we have made a movie, The Brown Heart. It's a 2-hour-long film for South Asians, why they die from heart attack. But actually, the 1.5 hour of the film is for everyone. It's all about diet and exercise and meditation and what you should do to live a healthy life. So it doesn't really matter whether you're South Asian or woman of color. We all have same problems. But when we were not only making the movie, we heard many stories from many people because it was a philanthropic project. We didn't take a single penny from, we didn't charge anything, and we are still doing all the work from that movie for free. So on that note, what we do is we do a lot of social media. And social media is full of negativity. You probably know that. It's half positive and half negative. So how do we turn around negativity into positivity? Number one, if the criticism is valid, we take it and we take it in our own way and respond to it. But 90% of the time, you walk the high road because in your mind, you are doing the right thing. And people don't like to see successful people. And they're just jealous and envious of you, so you forget them. That part of the brain, just shut it down and say, I'm going to do the right thing because I have thought I am doing the right thing.
What I do with those people is pray for them. When I pray 3-4 times a day, and I don't just pray for myself, I pray for other people. I pray that God gets through to them to take the taste of negativity out of their mouth. I pray that God gives them the eyesight and the understanding to see what I'm doing. And then I also pray that God removes negativity from my life and puts me in rooms around people that see my vision and that want to support my vision.
I think you've got some good guidance here. And, really, the bottom line is you believe in yourself. Believe in you. And by the way, her artwork is there for us to look at and to buy if we want to. And she truly is. She's done a lot of paint and sip things too. And so I really invited her to come because I'm an admirer of her work as well.
Joyce, can I say one thing for you?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy said than done. We can sit here and tell you to be positive. I have a 24 years old and an 18 years old. And I don't need to say less, right? They keep telling me, keep your toxic positivity to yourself. Yes, I'm not kidding. They're gonna be mad at me if they see this, but they say I have toxic positivity. If the whole house is on fire, I will have one hand on my distinguisher and the other hand is thinking how we can use the fire to make some food and warm people and do all of that. So if that's toxic positivity, I want to be toxic positive.
Absolutely.
So just remember that, okay?
Because that's what I was telling you. Don't negate yourself. Don't be your own worst enemy, right? If you're listening to all of that and believing it, and it's probably not even true. It's like Dr. Joshi said, consider, is there something they're saying that I need to change or something? I can be self-critical. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. But you know what? I'm going forward. It's not going to stop me. And she is right. There is, think this, everybody. Why, with each one of us, when we get mean and nasty, why? Even just in us, we're we're afraid, right? We're scared of something, we're hurt. So when you see negative people, they are really hurting people. They are people who really are scared of something. So really kind of come at it like, how can I help you? Because you're hurting. That's why I'm praying. Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm going to tell you, we could talk all day, but we've got a lot of other stuff to do. Would you join me in thanking our beautiful panelists? They aren't here, whatever, but they do a great job for us. Thank you so much, and please do take our gifts with you. All right, thank you all. Be careful getting down off that stage. It's a little bit of high step. Yes, yes, you did a good job. Oh, believe me, I understand. So this portion of our program, I don't know if Kirsten is here yet. She is? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I will turn it over now to a young lady who is a former, we take credit for all of her beauty and talent, the World Affairs Council of Harrisburg, because she was our intern. So please welcome Kirsten Sontania.
Hello. Okay. First of all, I'd like to start by thanking Ms. Joyce for having me. I have to say that I actually wrote down a lot of notes from the panel. I agreed with literally everything that was said. If you don't know who I am, I'm Kirtan Sontania. I am the daughter to yes, and I was a former World Affairs Council intern for 2 years in my sophomore year and my junior year in the summers. And now I come back and speak on occasion on behalf of Power and for myself. When I was in high school, I was a pioneer in my women's studies portion. I went to Cumberland Valley High School. They didn't have so much like women's curriculum within their history, so I started clubs and I helped to push the initiative of the women's studies class for my school, and they now have that. So, like I said, I wrote a few things down. I now currently go to Penn State Harrisburg, and I'm majoring in psychology, and I want to double minor in business and computer sciences. If you didn't know, yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess, there was a huge protest happening outside of Penn State Harrisburg, and it was not in favor of women, it was not in favor of minorities in any way, shape, or form. It was actually a series of people holding up signs saying things like, women belong in the kitchen, or you don't belong here, go back to your country. Or big signs that say being a feminist means, and then saying a bunch of hateful speech. Now growing up with an immigrant family, both my parents immigrated here from India, and they became citizens here and had me and one of my brothers here. So, you know, we have very differing perspectives. But, you know, my mom has taught me that part of growing up and part of breaking the cycle is teaching both your sons and your daughters how to appreciate everybody around you. Me and my brothers, like I said, they're my brothers, and I'm the only girl in the family, in our immediate family. So we grew up two very different ways. But they were never the type of people to be misunderstanding in any way, shape, or form, because my mom always showed them how to show respect, how to be there for other people. And I think that's a huge, integral part in moving forward society. Like I said, I study psychology. So one of the most irritating things I've ever seen is reading studies and seeing that they've been performed solely on boys or men, and we don't really know much about women's health or women's education. And I think, again, a huge part of changing that would be to push the initiative of studying to understand literally what makes up half of our world. Like I said, you know, I think that equality is not just about being equal. It's also about appreciating the other side for what they are. I actually really agree with your words about saying that, you know, both sides have the initiative to push. It's not just something where we have to say that women are nurturing, women are, you know, they're kind, they're mothering, but they're also, they can be bossy, they can be there, they can be assertive. Women are not women because they're nurturing. Women are women because they're human. It's just another half to define them as anything less than that, to say that they are differing in any way, shape, or form, would be an injustice to women. I liked hearing about that. I especially like the section on voting because I worked for PA Community Canvassing the last 2 months, and you know, it wasn't exactly it was a very humbling experience to be a woman of color, trying to ask people to register to vote on like the wrong side of the river, to say the least. And yeah, no, I think that voting is so important. If you're going to vote in the primary elections, just know that you should be registered at the Democratic Party.
Do you know if there's any more cups for the coffee and tea?
Agree with what's happening in the
Or
administration.
where it would be?
Behind the.
Let me see.
But I will say, get your voice out there and get there and vote. So today, I will be singing a song. And I actually didn't pick this song. My mom picked this song. She picks a lot of things for me, guys. She's pretty awesome. But yeah, but the song is really about just like awakening and being able to come to yourself and your own understanding. So I hope you like it.
You're good, you're good.
In the meantime, how are you guys doing? Good? Okay.
Miss Marie.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you again. Yeah, in person, right? Yeah. Yeah. How's it going? Good, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a great event. I've had so much fun so far, yeah. Yeah, of course, of course.
Maybe after the event.
Yeah, we have to leave though, so I was gonna send an email or something, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for hosting. I just want to see what's going on, so yeah.
Did you get a chance to meet Joyce?
I did not, no. Yeah, she's been in the front, she's been talking the whole time, so. Okay, yeah, thank you, yeah. Alright, see ya. Yeah, thank you.
When you look at me, I can touch the sky. I know that I'm alive. When you bless the day, I just drift away. On my worries that I'm glad that I'm alive. You set my heart on fire, fill me with love, made me a woman, I'm glad to burn. Yeah, I couldn't get much higher. My spirit takes flight, 'cause I am alive. When you call on me, when I hear you breathe, to fly, I feel that I'm alive. I am alive. When you reach for me, God knows that I'll be the one standing by through good and through trying times. Life's only begun. I can't wait for the rest of my life. When you call on me, when you reach for me to fly, I feel that I just drift away. I'm glad
everyone, clap for her. She did such a great job. Wonderful, yes. And Mama, you should stand up too. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing her talent with us. How can we stand it? Yeah. Oh, it was really beautiful. Well, now we come to the portion of our program that I told you guys about. This is our first year that we, because of the times we're living in, we thought this is the time we really have to recognize women who are showing courage and character that we would like to emulate. And so we have selected this time, we've got 4 awards we're going to present. And the first, I will start off by reading a little bit about why we have selected Tabitha Tabulia to be a recipient of our first year's award. Tabitha originally is from Romania. She relocated to the United States in 2005, and now she lives in Harrisburg with her husband and 3 daughters. She's a graduate of Messiah and Widener Universities, and with a degree in human development and family science and social work. She's another one of these women with big hearts. She has dedicated over 16 years to serving children and families through local agencies and her own organization, Front End Family Solutions. She empowers families through resource navigations, helping them find where the money and stuff is, and supportive services. She shares her passion for social work as an adjunct instructor at Messiah and guest instructor at the Pennsylvania Child Welfare Resource Center. With a deep commitment to child development and ministry, Tabitha has served in local churches, a 2-term board member for a nonprofit focused on mercy ministries and leadership training in Eastern Europe, and as a consultant for nonprofits. Her love for cultures and justice has taken her to El Salvador, Mexico, Ghana, and the UK. In 2025, she released Peachy Goes to America. It is a book sharing how a 2-week missionary encounter in Romania transformed her life. Tabitha, we love you. Would you come forward, please, to accept your award?
Thank you so much for this great honor. It means the world to me. I am humbled by this, and I'm so grateful to the Almighty God for giving me this opportunity to even be here. All I'm doing is passing along, paying forward what other people have done for me. So I think this is the call that I have for each one of you. Pay it forward. If someone has ever done anything for you, if anyone has ever showed you kindness, this is your time, this is your calling. If you're ever struggling with what you're being called to do, just think back of what someone did for you and pay it forward. That is your calling and your mission. Thank you.
We're going to have everybody come up for a group photo for this. And now, I would like to call, let's see. There is a second, I'm trying to see who's supposed to come up. Yes. Hajar, would you come forward for our next awardee, a lady very dear to our hearts, Carol Zondier.
Carol Zandier has lived in Harrisburg for the past 51 years. 51 years, guys, with her husband. When their children were born, Carol and her husband made the deliberate choice to enroll them in Harrisburg Public School. Believing in the value of racially and culturally diverse education. This decision, she feels greatly enrich her children's life, allowing them to form close friendship and meaningful connections with peers from a variety of cultures and international backgrounds. Carol began her teaching career in Hershey, teaching 6th grade for nearly 8 years after a pause to raise her 2 children. She returned to the classroom and spent 19 years teaching 4th grade at Yeshiva Academy. Did I say it right? Okay, want to make it right. Driven by a commitment to inclusive education, she earned an ESL certification and taught English as a second language at the primary, intermediate, and secondary level within the Harrisburg School District. She retired in 2016 after fulfilling 33 years teaching career. Since then, Carol has embraced retirement with vitality and purpose, traveling widely to places such as Alaska, Chile, Israel, Portugal, Canada, and many destinations across the United States. She enjoys camping, spending quality time with her family and friends, taking art classes, and singing with their River City Singer Choir. Are we going to hear you sing? A lifelong adherent of the Baha'i faith, Carol has been deeply involved in her spiritual community in both Hershey and Harrisburg. She has served as an elected member of the Spiritual Assembly in Harrisburg and held the role of Secretary General for many years. Her dedication to service including teaching children's classes, organizing children programs, conference, and founding and leading a Brownie and Junior Girl Scout troop in Harrisburg for 6 years. For the past 3 years, Carol has served the community of South Central Pennsylvania to represent the region at the Baha'is Natural Convention. She joined 170 other delegates from across the United States in the sacred responsibility of electing the 9 members. The 9 members of the National Spiritual Assembly, the national governing body of the Baha'is of the United States. Thank you for everything you have given to the community, and please accept this award.
Unfortunately, Carol is not able to be with us, but her husband is here. So Bezat, would you please come forward and accept on behalf of your wife? And she let us know that she's just not able to get here.
On behalf of Carol, I have to say she's extremely honored to be recognized and for this fantastic, beautiful, very beautiful certificate. I wish I had one like that. No, I have one that's beautiful too. But anyway, she says especially thank you and convey her special greetings to all of you. I hope next time she will be here in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Bezat. And I know she really didn't want to be here. She contacted us, but you know, when you can't do it physically, you just can't. So our heart is with her. And now, I'd like to call up Reverend Russell W. Goodman. He refused to take my name when we married. So I told him he had to, but he said no. And so he is going to introduce our next awardee, Dr. Diane Z. Sand.
Good afternoon, everyone. I must say it's wonderful to be in a room with all of these achievers, all these wonderful ladies. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. You know, before I read this bio on Diane, let me just say this. Let me say this from the heart. I have known Diane for years. I know her to be a woman of faith. I know her to be a highly intelligent woman. I know her to be an involved woman, socially involved, engaged, involved in things, involved in making her community better. I know her to be a woman of character and integrity, and I am proud to call you my friend. So, Diane Z. Sand is a graduate of Bryn Mawr College, received a PhD in Slavic languages from the University of Pennsylvania. Diane taught Russian language and literature at Dickinson and Gettysburg colleges for a number of years before she joined the faculty of Franklin and Marshall, where she instructed students for 30 years before retiring. And since 1971, when Dr. Sand moved to Harrisburg, she's been an active member of the Harrisburg community, always promoting social justice, equality, diversity, and interfaith understanding. You see why I'm saying she's somewhat involved. She's a person of character. She served on committees of local and national nonprofits, including the Bethel Temple Social Action and Freedom Seder committees, as well as the Grants Committee of the Women of Vision Philanthropic Fund. She participated in the Diversity Forum and Community Resources Network and many other organizations with the mission of equality and betterment for everybody. Everybody. Diane has been a regular participant in interfaith activities throughout the Harrisburg area. And along with her late husband, Michael Sand, somebody else I called a friend, many decades ago, she founded the Soviet Jewry Action Council of Harrisburg, which advocated for the release of Soviet Jews from the former Soviet Union. Together, they traveled to Russia to give support to those waiting for years of execution. Once, many families who needed to leave the FSU, the former Soviet Union, were resettled by the Harrisburg Jewish community. Dr. Sand, through her Russian language skills, was a lifeline to the immigrants as she assisted them in starting a new life in America. Please join me in appreciating and thanking my friend, Dr. Diane Sand.
Being here at the World Affairs Council of Harrisburg makes me very proud. Joining all of you from different cultures and even from Harrisburg to all join together to be with each other, to support each other, to nurture each other, and to make a better future for all of us. I know that my children, I have 2 sons married, and I have 4 grandchildren, and I want the best for them as they continue to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sand. And now I will, we have decided that we wanted to honor a group of women. And frankly, I can think of no group of women that I personally admire more. I have watched them, I have seen the impact they've had in our region, and they are truly women of character and conscience. And so I'm going to ask Dr. Joshi to come forward and to read why we think the Women's Auxiliary of the Hadi Mosque deserves our appreciation.
Thanks, Joyce, for this honor. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Women Auxiliary is an international organization founded in 1922 by Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Muhammad Ahmad, the second Caliph of Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Its core mission, as outlined in its constitution, is to unite members in enhancing their knowledge and sharing it with others, improving their moral and spiritual standards, promoting social welfare, developing employment skills, and encouraging healthy lifestyle. The organization is strictly religious and does not engage in political activities. The AMC Women Auxiliary was first established in the United States in 1935 and has since grown to include over 60 chapters across the country. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Women Auxiliary in Harrisburg originated in York, Pennsylvania at the Noor Mosque. As membership rapidly increased, the community required a larger space, leading to the establishment of the Hadi Mosque in Harrisburg in 2010. Today, the Women Auxiliary at Hadi Mosque is a vibrant group of over 200 dedicated women. They focus on deepening their spiritual growth while fostering harmony among people from diverse religious and cultural backgrounds. Through collaborative initiatives, they create welcoming spaces for open dialogue, learning, and connection, helping to break down barriers and build lasting relationships. Their community service include interfaith sisterhood programs, volunteering at local organizations, and organizing and participating in community events such as Freedom's Year and Harmony Walk, all aimed at promoting unity and social welfare. So please welcome me in honoring them.
Thank you to Dr. Davis and the World Affairs Council for this award. We are here representing the Ahmadiyya Muslim community's Women's Auxiliary. As Reenu Joshi really introduced us so well, we are a community of about 500 congregants, about 210 women, and about 40 young girls. The motto of our community is love for all and hatred for none. It's lovely to see a lot of familiar faces in the room that we work with. This award belongs to Simon Mumtaz, our outreach lead, and the whole tribe that works in the interfaith team. So Mahmouda is way back there. Many members may recognize her. She is the stalwart who's been doing this work for 20-some years. And then Simon Mumtaz could not be here, Zafra could not be here, and we have Nida, who has recently joined us from Germany. So I am very appreciative for this award, and thank you so much. And may we continue to build interfaith harmony, racial harmony, and social justice all around us. Thank you.
Really, these are ladies that are to be highly admired, encouraged, and emulated. And before we go on now to the fun part about fashion show, right?
I want to also call up our keynote speaker once again. She also was not able to accept her award. Her dear husband accepted her Torch Award because we gave her a Torch Award a few years ago to let her know what a beacon she is for us. And but now we want to give her just this inside here is a symbol of what we want the world to be, crystal and beautiful and clean. And we know that is in your heart as well. So please accept this. We wish we had $1 million to give you for your keynote, but and our prayers go with you and your family, right? Absolutely. Oh, he wants to take a picture. So thank you all for being here with us for this first part of the program. Now I'm going to turn it over to Kalpana Dopalapudi, who is going to take charge of this next part. And believe me, she knows how to throw a fashion show.
Okay. Very heartful conversations and nice panel. So we would like to do the Irish dance first because the kids needs to attend some other event. So then I'll come back for the fashion show. So please stay tuned.
Thank you so much, and we apologize for the interruption. We won't be too long, I'm sure. Yes, we are honored to be participating in this event today, and I'm happy to say that these four ladies are dancing as representatives of the Coyle School of Irish Dance, which is a female-owned and operated organization that has dance chapters in Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Central Pennsylvania. So let's hear it for women-operated businesses. The dancers we have today are going to be performing just a few little routines, and they're wearing the shoes that they have on are soft shoes. If you're expecting the Irish dance like river dance with all the noise, not today. We're saving that for another day. So, start the music. We're going to be doing some slip jigs. This is Naomi, and this is Teresa. Our other dancers here, we have Neve and Jillian. All four of these dancers are regional medal holders. They are at the highest level of Irish dance competition. Part of our mission as Irish dancers is to share the Irish culture with people everywhere. So during the month of March, they have a lot of performances that they do. So for now, they're going to do a Cayley dance. Cayleys are group dances, and a lot of the Irish dances started as just a way for families to get together after church on Sunday. You might notice that some of their hairs are curly, and that comes from the tradition of moms setting the hair in rag curls. So we're keeping that on today. So they're going to do Cayleys, they're going to do some 2 hands and then 4 hands. officially a part of your fashion show today, but you might notice that some of these dresses are pretty fancy. The one that Teresa is wearing, it represents the school, and on the back of it, on the cape, it has the crest of the Coyle School and the colors of the three sisters who started the Coyle School. When dancers at the lower level, they will dance in a school costume, or if they're doing a team, everybody in the team will have the same costume. The other dresses that we have, when you reach a certain level, the dancers' families will purchase a solo costume. These are one of a kind. Generally, when the girls are younger, because they grow so fast, they get hand-me-downs from other girls. But when they get more serious about it, the families will invest in these one-of-a-kind costumes. Each of these were designed by Gavin in Ireland. Trying to get as much use out of them as we can. You might notice their feet, their heels don't touch the ground. Part of the Irish dancing, the only time the heels come down is with the hard shoes when they're making a lot of noise. So it's a lot of work, and they have very strong leg muscles to be able to do what they're doing. All right, so the last thing we're going to dance for you is some reels. Yep, and these are just solo steps from each of the three girls. So thank you so much for including us in your event today. Thank you. We are the Coyle School of Irish Dance from Central PA. And if I may, as a dance mom brag for just a moment, my daughter Teresa, she's the youngest of my 8 children, she is going to be competing at the World Championships in Chicago this week. She just came back from competing in the All-Irelands in Killarney, which was a lovely vacation for me as well, and has competed at several of the other World Championships. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It makes me wonder if that's where ballet comes from. Because, you know, it made me wonder, is this actually the roots of ballet? But it's really beautiful. And we thank you for taking time from your Saturday to be here with us. And now, come on.
Okay, that was, how's the dance? Any applause for them? Okay. It's so fantastic because they have to leave, so we accommodated them. So the best judge of whether or not a country is going to develop is how it treats its women. If it's educating girls, if women have equal rights, that country is going to move forward. But if women are oppressed and abused and illiterate, then they are going to fall behind. This is a quote from a famous leader. Does anybody can guess? No. It's Barack Obama. Good evening, everyone. So far it's going very well and nice, and now it will be more beautiful. And this is not a fashion show. This is something like we want to celebrate the culture, the elegance, and the style. So this is Kalpana Daplapudi and my daughter Ketna Santiana. Today we have the tour guides for the world tour. So we will be taking you to different countries to know their culture, their style, the colors, and the passion, and the pride for their country. So as I have to guide the participants, so Ketna will be taking from here, and all yours, Ketna? Peace out, Mom. Yeah. Okay. Hi, she's so great. I get it from her. Okay, so let's begin our journey into the wonderful world tour. Are you guys excited? No enthusiasm today. There we go.
I am she is me.
I am she is me. I love that quote. Wow. Alright, well they get situated. Would you guys like to hear some fun facts? Okay, I have a not so fun fact and a super fun fact. Which one do you guys want to hear first? Not so fun fact? Did you know that, this is the documented number by the way, that 1 in 4 women in every room have experienced either sexual assault, sexual harassment, or rape. And again, like I said, this is the documented number. There are millions of women out there who don't report on what's happened to them.
There's nobody from Afghanistan.
Did you know that the United States is now producing the most amount of women getting bachelor's degrees than they have ever in the time of the United States? I'm one of them. More fun facts? Let's think. Sing for you? Oh, okay. Have you guys watched Princess and the Frog? Okay. Almost there. I'm almost there. People down here think I'm crazy. They do. But I don't care. Trials and tribulations. I've had my share. But my mom helps me. There ain't nothing gonna stop me now. Cause I'm almost there. And on look at that, they're ready. Perfect timing. Great. When women walk with pride and confidence for her country, please put your hands together as we welcome our first country to the stage. Representing timeless tradition and graceful beauty, please welcome Romania. Let's hear it for Romania. Next up, with elegance, confidence, and classic sophistication, here comes Germany. Next up, bringing vibrant color, rich culture, and joyful spirit, please welcome Ecuador!
excited. You're in charge for music?
Yeah.
We have the last. We just added to the list. We are from Morocco.
Okay, I don't have music.
Can I tell you something today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it for Ecuador. Next up, with great strength, grace, and deep cultural pride, let us welcome Ukraine.
This one. Casablanca for Sad and Jarrett. Casablanca. If you can just like pass the beginning, because the beginning is just music, you know what I mean?
Let's hear it for Ukraine.
Find it? Casablanca. Sad. S-A.
Ми з тобою пройдемо цей план, і моя рука в твоїх руках, ти весь мій маленький, тут я маленький.
The song is catchy.
You get it?
Full of warmth, rhythm, and Caribbean energy, please welcome the Dominican Republic.
Graded? Thank you. Just like pass the little bit because it's just music.
Okay, I'll
Thank
try.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. Let's hear it. Next up, radiating with pride, passion, and beauty, here comes Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico! Bold, lively, and full of character, please welcome Cuba to the runway! What a stunning ride. Let's hear a round of applause. Representing heritage, resilience, and elegance, let's welcome El Salvador! So colorful. Let's hear a round of applause. Next up, rich in tradition, color, and cultural beauty. Please welcome Mexico! Seems we have a pause. So, next up, another country with vibrant heritage and timeless charm. Here comes Guatemala! All right, quick skip. Bringing glamour, poise, and confidence to the stage, please welcome Venezuela. Next up, with dignity, tradition, and enduring beauty, let us welcome Morocco. Stunning. Let's hear a round of applause.
the Latin, because Colombia.
Next up, rich in tradition, heritage, and timeless charm, here comes Colombia! Vibrant colors, let's hear a round of applause. Now last but absolutely not least, my personal favorite, I must say. With dazzling color, rich heritage, and extraordinary elegance, please welcome India! Let's hear a big round of applause for all of our wonderful participants. Tonight we celebrate more than just fashion. We celebrate culture, unity, and diversity, and the beauty that each nation brings to the world. So let's hear it for everybody. Did you enjoy your world tour? Let's hear it one more time for all the participants. Here we have Romania, Germany, Colombia, Morocco, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, El Salvador, Ukraine, India, America, yeah. Miss Joyce, you gotta get in the middle, you're America. Happy Women's History Month! Group photo, everyone!
Thank you all. That was so beautiful. so wonderful. And as we close, I do want to acknowledge everyone. Attention before we, it's kind of hard to bring them in again. But thank you all for being here. And really, let's thank Central Penn College. Could we give, because they made this space available, they supported us, Partana and her team, they really did help us. And there's one other thing. Could I get everyone's attention? This is important. One more thing. I really want everyone's attention because this is an important moment. All of this that has gone into business helped me for the past 10 months. Mary Gabrielle is headed to a new job in Philadelphia. And we want to thank her because she helped make this possible. She's been my right-hand woman for this time, and she is going forward to a new step in her life and in her career. So can we please send her off with love? Thank you, Mary, for all that you have done. This is her last opportunity to be here with us. So thank you all, for she's a jolly good fella, for she's a jolly good fella, for she's a jolly good fella. And there you go. No one can deny. Thank you, but thank you, Mary. I wanted you to, we appreciate all you've done, and we do send you with love. We send you all off with love. We'll see you here next year, and actually in May we'll have our torch award, so you'll be hearing about that. Bye, everyone. Picture for our awardees if you're still here.
How you doing?
I've missed your dad.
You gonna go? I'm gonna go. You were amazing. I just wanted to your voice is beautiful. Mr. Russell, good to see you. Of course, always. You guys are amazing. I know, yes, just like every other night. You guys do.
good time?
Yes, we did. We for sure did.
Good. No.
And then Saturday morning, Friday night, and then Saturday morning, we got breakfast, and then no, that's not done. We're done dancing. We're gonna dance on like boys Friday night, and then we'll have lunch. That's
I'm gonna change your mind. Yeah, I got it. Have a good one. You guys are beautiful. You're welcome.
nice meeting you. Yes, I can't shake with that hand. Yes. Well, it depends on what they need. Every month we provide workshops. The workshop is something different every month. So one month we might be grant writing, the next month we might be doing, like we had a business lawyer come in, she told me about all the paper all the licenses that they need. Next month it might be marketing, next month it might be issues. So every month is something different. But you come and you collaborate with the different women and get to know other women, and where you're weak, they might be strong, and vice versa. The fourth Thursday of every month. It's free for your first 2 meetings. You can join, you come to 2 meetings for free. After that, you have to decide if you want to do a membership. You can either pay $25 per meeting, or you could do a $150 membership for the entire year. And we serve a full meal, including dessert and appetizers. Okay, you're welcome.
Ready, set, go.